Hey everyone, it's Matt, and today I'm going to be showing you a very interesting virtual reality art application. It is called Tilt Brush, and it lets you paint and sculpt and draw with lots of different materials, many of which light up. And I thought it was a very kind of therapeutic, relaxing experience to draw in, so I'm hoping you guys might actually like watching it. I have very little experience with it though, so what this is going to be is a sort of experimentation video. I'm going to play around with the different brushes and things you can do, and we'll see what we get. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. So the basic brush here is the light brush, and you have in your left hand, your left controller, this little thing where you can cycle through menus for the color and the brush type and so on. And so we're going to start with some green light. So this is the color green. There you go. It's all green. And because it is virtual reality, you can, of course, walk around your creations and through them, which is a little disorienting sometimes. I can just undo that there. And yeah, you can also change the size of the brush so it can have a thick beam of light. Looks pretty neat. I've noticed that kind of each brush stroke is the same texture. It just gets stretched out the longer you draw it. So right there you have kind of the brush texture. But if you stretch it out, you see it follows the line you're making. It gets shorter. Well, not shorter, but more stretched out as you draw it. Um, so yeah, that's kind of neat. I really do like how the light looks. Let's see what else we can do here. I'm going to put this to medium thickness, and let's draw a red sun. Does that make sense, right? The sun is perfectly red. This is kind of a maybe an apocalyptic sun we got there. And what other brushes do we have? We have the duct tape brush, and so I'm going to make some gray duct tape. It's grayish, kind of violet almost. I'm going to duct tape up the sun with the big old duct tape thing. I'm going to duct tape it up so it can't sunburn anyone. That makes sense, right? You know, I did not plan any of this beforehand, and this is not what I expected to be doing, but hey, we're going to cover up the sun so it can't burn anyone. There we go. Oh, there's still a blip. And if I go over here, the sun can still burn me, so I'm not sure how well that's going to work. But we have our duct tape sun over here. And what else can we do? We can do stars. Let's get some blue stars. So if I just kind of click right there, it makes a star. That kind of, it flickers around there. So I can make some more. The longer I hold it down, the more it creates. And these just keep going infinitely. So we've surrounded the duct tape sun with stars. It's kind of pretty. Let's get some more stars in here. Lots of stars. You can walk through all the stars. It's very mesmerizing in 3D when it looks like they're right in your face. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of some of those stars. And let's see what this velvet ink is. I'm going to make it orange. So velvet ink is like that. So yeah, it's just kind of semi-transparent ink, which is nice. And what else do we have here? We got rainbow. I think that's probably pretty self-explanatory. It's a rainbow. Changes colors. Very trippy. It almost feels like it's bad for your eyes to look at that. It's very bright. So I'm going to get rid of that for now. I'm actually going to clear this all out so I can clear the sketch like that. And we'll see what else we got. So here's the fire. Fire is kind of like a trail of fire almost. So when you move your controller around, it comes out like that, but it doesn't stay. But you can draw with it. And it has this animation. I can make a volcano with this. Maybe I will. It looks very neat. Make it a bit smaller. So the smaller size, the fire looks more like that. What is this, the Nike logo? Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. And we also have embers, which I guess we could make orange. They're kind of like the stars, except they generate and they float up there. And I can make embers all around me. You can make the scene of a fire pretty easily with this application. I don't know if it's therapy for pyromaniacs or encouraging them. I can't tell. I wouldn't know. And so, what else do we have here? We have the smoke. I don't think I've actually tried the smoke yet. Let's get some pink smoke. Huh. Yeah, it just kind of wiggles around there. It floats. You can make a big old smoke cloud. Put your face through it too, which is a little strange. But there are some very interesting textures in this application that I like using. This seems to be one of them. I haven't tried it yet, but I like it a lot. And next up we have snow. We can do some white snow. So I don't know if the snow, I think it just keeps falling. So wherever you put it, it falls in that general area. And again, this is very, very cool to see in 3D, in VR, when it feels like it's all around you. Look at all that snow. So much snow. Tiny little snowflakes. That's really cool. But I'll get rid of it now. And we already did the rainbow and the stars. Velvet ink and waveform. I don't know if I have my microphone set up for this game to recognize it properly, but I don't know if waveform is supposed to react to your voice or not, but let's see what happens. Get some blue here. Make it about that big. And testing. Yeah, it doesn't seem to react to your voice, but it does have a cool little waveform type thing going on there. So I'll get rid of that. And we also have the splatter. Let's make this green, like the slime from 90s Nickelodeon. And it's just splatter. It stays in place, doesn't really move around. Kind of a almost neon color. Look at all that. It's kind of gross. And we already did the duct tape. And let's see what paper looks like. I'm going to do some white paper, or slightly off-white paper. Yep, it looks like paper. Hmm. So you can almost make sort of paper mache looking thing. Lots of little layers. And what's on? There's a first page that's more like actual drawing and writing instruments. So we can start with the oil paint. I'll do some black oil paint. It doesn't really show up too well on this dark background. Speaking of which, I think there is a way to change the background. So let's see. Yeah, environment. White. Okay. So now we can see this ink a little better. The oil. I think it's the oil, right? Yeah. Oil paint. So we can do kind of a textured approach here. Look right into it. And I'll get rid of that for now. We'll check out the ink. And the ink looks kind of similar, but a lot smoother, less textured. So this is the ink. And I kind of probably should have gotten rid of that first. Let's try that again. I do want to draw with the ink here. This is the ink. Ink. Very nice. And next up is the thick paint. Let's do some red thick paint. It's very, very thick and chunky. Has some deep texture to it. At least the illusion of deep texture. I don't know if it's actually texture. It looks pretty flat when you look at it from the side. But it is a nice tactile looking paint. And next up is the wire. What is this wire? Let's see. Let's do some purple wire. Yeah, it looks like wire. All one color, one very uniform color, that is. But it's smooth. It'll just go wherever you take it. No texture whatsoever. Look at that wire. And now, the marker. Let's do some green marker. It looks like a marker, but in 3D. As if air itself could be drawn on. It's very interesting. Which reminds me, there is a thing in this called, I think they're called guides. Yeah. If you take a guide, you can pick it up. You can change the shape of it too. And basically, instead of drawing in the middle of the air, you can draw on the surface, like this. So, then we can take the guide away, and we have a very flat hello, which is neat. You can just throw that away when you're done. I'm going to get rid of this guide here. And next up is the tapered marker. So I imagine that's similar, but it tapers off at the end more. Nothing too special. And the pinched marker is kind of the same way on both ends, which does make for kind of a, at least in this green color, kind of a neat grass looking effect. So if I was to do this a lot, I can make a patch of grass. I can spin this around here, change the size. I can have the world's tiniest little patch of grass on the ground down here. Hello, grass. Isn't that adorable? Not really. But that's okay. Okay, so we'll clear that out. And next up is the highlighter, which we'll do in yellow, of course. And yep, it's a highlighter. That's pretty much it. It's a highlighter. I'm not sure how useful this would be in most tilt brush drawings. I can't really think of a situation where I'd use it, but I'm sure people have found ways. And we have flat, which is kind of it's almost just like a ribbon, flat ribbon. And tapered flat, same thing but tapered. And pinched flat, kind of like with the markers, but less of an inky texture. So it has shadows and lighting to it, whereas the marker, not so much. It's almost like painting on air versus a physical object. So that's neat. And a soft highlighter. Oh, it's like a highlighter, but very soft, almost a glow. You can make a big ol' glow that everything looks very yellow through. That's neat. And so, we've done this page, and then the third page has the coarse bristles. We can make this look like bear hair, I think. Well, that's a bit large and thick, but if we tone it down a notch, put some fur on an animal if we wanted to with this. Make a little bear, or a fox, or even a squirrel, a giant squirrel. You know what? Speaking of that, I think I'm going to try making a giant squirrel. This is probably a terrible idea, but let's try it. So, what should I start with? I'm going to start with the pinched flat and make it rather large. And there's that. I already have no idea what I'm doing. This is going to be the strangest squirrel you've ever seen, I can guarantee that. I'll spin it around there. I don't know how to draw a squirrel in 2D, so forgive my not so squirrely drawing here. This is a very, very, very strange squirrel, guys. Very strange. I am not the Bob Ross of a virtual reality painting, that's for sure. Let's give it some volume here. And now that we have the base, let's get the coarse bristles. Put those on there. This is a thing. This is definitely not what I was hoping the squirrel would look like. But it's okay. We can have happy accidents every once in a while. Like I said, this is really my first time playing around with it, aside from a few minutes before I tried recording this video. And now we should give it some eyes and teeth. So the eyes will be, we're going to give it glowing eyes. I'm going to go with the creepy squirrel. I gotta embrace the creepy squirrel aesthetic. Here it comes. Oh god, that's kind of creepy. What is this? What is this squirrel? I don't understand. It's going to have glowing teeth too. Let's change the environment to snowman environment. Whoa. The squirrel's attacking a snowman. What is this? Squirrel, no, what are you doing? What are you doing, squirrel? And I guess this is the ground because everything is going through it. That's odd. So maybe I should go to the standard one. Or, huh. Oh, I see. I moved the floor. That would explain it. That's why everything's going through. So, yeah. I think that's going to be our super creepy squirrel. Ta-da! Don't you want to give it a pet? Yeah, okay. think that's enough for the squirrel. So, we'll continue exploring what we were doing here. With the tune, I'm going to go for blue tune. The tune brush looks like that. And so it's kind of a thick tube with cell shading on it, which is neat. Kind of a black outline at certain angles. So I could go like, pow, like a comic book. Though I'm not sure that's really what it looks like in a comic book. It's still neat though. And of course we have electricity. Look at all that electricity. It's very electric. I can't think of a better word than that. Sorry guys. So I could almost make kind of a lightning strike with that. Though obviously lightning is much more short-lived than this. This will go forever if you want it to. So that's neat. And streamers. What are the streamers like? Let's make those pink. Huh. So they're little, almost like shooting stars in a row, or fireworks. Let's make them bigger. Oh, that looks cool. That looks really cool. And around in a circle. That's beautiful. Let's go with some different colors. Streamers everywhere. It's gonna be like we're in a ball of fireworks. This reminds me of, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the original Nexus 1 Android phone. It came with a wallpaper, an animated wallpaper that looked a little bit like this, but obviously nowhere near as trippy. Well, that's pretty cool. I like this one a lot. And yeah, I'll clear that out. And hypercolor. What is hypercolor? Let's see. Whoa. It looks like almost metallic color changing paint. That's ridiculous. I love it. I don't know what I would paint with that, but I want to paint with it. Here we go. Yo. That's the only word you can paint with that. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Look at that. Yeah. And what else do we have? We got bubbles. It's the bubbles. The bubbles everywhere. Feels like I'm underwater. Feels like I'm underwater, guys. You know what I could do? Wait, what environments do we have here? Do we have underwater space? No. Black? Oh. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fill this all with bubbles. Bubbles everywhere. Everywhere. Okay. That might be too many bubbles, but that's okay. And now we're gonna do a hypercolor little fish. Actually, maybe several fish. So let's put that guy right there. I don't really know how to make 3D shapes very well in this. I've been occasionally using an application called Oculus Medium, which is more of a sculpting app, and that does let you do more 3D shapes than this, it seems. But this is cool. This is very different. This is like painting on air, whereas the other thing is like sculpting objects. Let's make some more fish. More fish. Some very strange looking fish. Yeah, let's do a big old puffer fish. Just gonna make kind of a ball of this stuff here. And some fins. I don't know if pufferfish have those kind of fins. I could also put some glowing eyes on them. Some tiny little glowing eyes on these guys. I don't know why I feel the need to put glowing eyes on everything, but I kind of like it. I could also make an octopus, maybe a cartoon octopus. Tune. And make this kind of a deep purple color. Kind of a spirally octopus. Here's one tentacle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's give it the glowing eyes, of course. And a beak. Let's give it a cartoon beak. Please forgive me if this is the worst octopus you've ever seen, because it's been a while since I've seen an octopus. And I don't even remember how they look precisely. And that's on top of the fact that I don't know how to make actual objects in this, but hey, that's fine, because this is very trippy and I like it. I hope you like it too. There we go, that's our little undersea scene. Beautiful. Let's clear that out. So next, there's a bit more we can explore. And I'll switch over to the standard environment again. We have neon pulse. So neon pulse looks like that. It's almost like a little fiber optic light tube that pulses light through it. It's very neat. I imagine you can do some imaginative stuff with that. And now, disco. Whoa, look at that. It's kind of an undulating metallic wire or tube. I like that a lot. I feel like you can make a really interesting giant squid or eel with this. Let me see if I can make an eel. Here comes the eel. This is a very long eel. And its head up there. And we'll get the glowing eyes, of course. And you know what I want to give it? I want to give it a little electric tongue. It's more of a snake now. Yeah, I'll call it a snake. Look at that snake with the electric tongue. That's great. So, what is next is Hypergrid. Let's make that green. Whoa, look at that. So hypergrid kind of makes these very sci-fi looking grid shapes, like pieces of cubes all in a row. That's neat. Another one where I'm not so sure what I'd use it for, but it's pretty cool. And next is the light wire, which will make orange. Huh. So it's kind of like Christmas tree lights. It even changes color a little bit as it goes through. And you can make it much more thin if you want, of course. That's neat. Chromatic wave. What is this? Let's see. Oh, so it's kind of like a slower version of the electricity, but in multiple colors. Not quite a rainbow, but still pretty neat. I like that. And this seems to be the last one. It'll be the dots. It's precisely as advertised. They're dots. Little dots of light. Which are still pretty neat. The simple stuff is sometimes the best. Looks very much like a Christmas tree. Feels like the holidays in here all the time with everything lighting up. I like it. So, now that we've explored everything here, I think I'm just going to make a little scene before calling it a night. And what better than happy little trees to finish off with? Or in this case, I'm going to do a happy little tree, a happy little Christmas tree. I don't care if it's April, I'm going to do a Christmas tree. Because Christmas trees are pretty, and this game seems to be, well, this application seems to be very good at encouraging you to make Christmas trees. So let's start with, let's make this tune. We'll get a brown tree trunk, thick brown tree trunk, like so. There we go. And let's give it some branches. This is going to be a very strange looking tree. There are no mistakes though, only happy little accidents. Let's walk around it. It looks pretty legit if you ask me. Look at that tree. There's no leaves on it yet, but that's what we're going to take care of next. We're going to do the pinched flat with some bright green. This could take a while. Okay. Here it comes. Here comes the tree. This is almost more like a tree made of grass. Right. It's as if the strange little branches never existed. See, we're fixing it. Come on. Let's go, tree. Look at all that. Look at all that. It's a great tree. Super realistic, guys. Super realistic. I could actually spin it around here. Make it a little easier. Look at that tree. Look at that tree. It's a great tree, guys. It's a great tree. Oh, well, I'm thinking about it. Snowman environment. Yeah. Well, snowman's a little. I feel like I should have started this in the snowman field, so I would have the right scale. So let's change that to space. Giant Christmas tree from outer space. That'll do. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Giant Christmas tree from outer space. Beautiful. Everybody wants a giant Christmas tree from outer space. In this case, a tiny one. But let's put that back to normal here. And now, what should we use for the ornaments? The ornaments will be this disco, I think. Yeah. We'll start with some red ornaments. Some shape-shifting ornaments. It's pretty neat. This is a great tree, guys. I'd put this in my home. I'd put this in my home any time of year. Now the moon's in my face. Out of the way, moon. Okay. This ornament got a bit strangely shaped. And now some blue. As my patience for drawing ornaments lessens, they become less and less spherical. Just something to note. Okay. So those are the ornaments. And now let's get some lights. I think we're going to go with the light wire. Yeah. Light wire. This will be red. Come over here, tree. Let's wrap it around. Space Christmas trees have their light wire floating around the Christmas tree instead of actually staying on it. That's okay. Look at that Christmas tree. Oh, we gotta put the star on top. The star should be light, of course. Make it yellow. And it seems I may have reached the edge of my play space here. Let's pull the Christmas tree closer. There's the star. That's what they look like, right? Look at that star. And while we're at it, get some snow going. Snow is a thing in space, just so you know. It is most definitely a thing in space. And there we are. Our beautiful, beautiful Christmas tree in space. It's over twice the size of the moon. We can walk around it and up to it. Look at these strange disco ornaments. Fantastic. If I do say so myself. Well, I think with that we will conclude this video, but thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Good night.